Alright, hi guys. I've got another one here, another video. This is a Necrotic Wake 20 that I did this week. As it's push week, easy affixes, Quaking Sanguine, pretty easy. This key is at a time, only by a minute. Obviously you can't time them all, and in the world of pugs, I thought a 20 at a time by a minute is no bad key at all. So, yeah, I thought I'd record it and go through it. A few things before I start. Sorry for the pixelating and stuttering in other videos and this one. It should be sorted for the future videos I make. I hope. So yeah, and secondly, I've looked through the logs of this run. I didn't play particularly well in terms of using reprisal. So you'll see I have charger on cooldown a lot of the time and probably intervene on cooldown a lot of times. So I could have played much better in this key, which could have contributed towards, the actual timing and saving in that minute. But we'll get in and we'll just see, and we'll just go through. So let's begin. So yep, it's a 20. I don't want to go too big at the start. The hunter said he could misdirect the blight bags on top of me, so that's all good and dandy. So I said, "Yep, sure, you can do that," and we'll do this pull at the start. Because the only problem with these is with this pull is the patchwork soldiers, as obviously they like to leap behind you all the time. So you just need to be careful of that, which is quite easy. They leap, and you just need to basically backpedal or rearrange yourself so they're back in front of you. You'll see it a few times at the start here. I do it quite a lot. So yeah. So here we go, Sanguine. A lot of people don't like Sanguine. It's fine. Just as the mobs are dying, just start kiting backwards. Well, not kiting, just backpedal. Backpedaling's fast enough. I tend to just backpedal when mobs are getting low. Oh yeah, so you might see me do that a few times. Open my bag by mistake, because it's a 20, I'm actually running Vintage and Blood Barrier, just because I didn't know how hard it was going to hit. I haven't done a 20 before. So I'm running 2 defensive trinkets, except for one of them is bound to V, which is usually my health stone button, which I don't press that much, so I sometimes fat finger bag along with it, but I'll get there eventually. So yeah, just pulling this pack. Obviously the Harvesters, they're probably the horrible ones in these 2 packs, but obviously they don't really move, so you want to be careful, especially in Sanguine Week, to not try and kill stuff on top of it. So you need to kind of tank stuff away, but still sort of in melee range, still sort of cleave range, so it can all be done together. So kill that. Nearly made a mistake there. That Harvester did run forward because I lost on the stairs. It didn't run into Sanguine though, so luckily, got away with it. Fat fingered Fear by accident. That's really bad, especially here, as mobs can go to the side and pull the channeler over there. So that was my bad. So yeah, this pack's pretty horrible. Obviously 2 Harvesters, and then you've got the big guy. I think it's a Vanguard. Yeah, Vanguard. With the meat shield and stuff, and obviously he has what people sometimes don't realize is he actually has an enrage. So obviously you can see the stats there. He's got 11 above his head. That goes to 20. Luckily the hunter knows that and soothed, but I've been in keys like 17s, 18s where they haven't been soothed at all with druids and stuff, and yeah, they start to rail. So just be aware of that, and make sure your DPS or someone who can soothe knows that can be soothed. I feel like it's a lesser known thing. So here we go, mobs are dying, so just slowly kiting around, making sure that things aren't stood in Sanguine. Probably a slight mistake. I dragged that back on top when it was dying. So yeah, healing a little bit. So you can outrange cast and get it to run out. But yeah, definitely a mistake there. Should have not brought that back on top. Would have saved us some time. So here, everyone has their own routes basically. So mine for Necrotic Wake anyway. It takes these 3 and the blight bags that run around. So you see I'm looking for them here. They're quite a risky pull. If you pull them too early, you pull the guy channeling. If you pull them too late, you pull other stuff that you don't want. And they're not they're not all tethered as well. So I missed 2 there, but that's okay. I know there's 2 blight bags somewhere else I can pick up just to fill the spot or fill the percentage I need. So blight bags don't do much. Patchwork soldiers obviously jump behind me and maneuver to get them back in front. So I can block and parry and dodge, etc. All that nice stuff. Manifestation spawns here. And obviously, I wasn't expecting them to, hit this hard and take too long in 20s. But obviously we're just before the boss, so DPS are holding their CDs. So our Prideful's, so essentially why this key probably went under time. We lost people, I think, at every Prideful but the last. So we'll see. So we lose people here. Obviously, I could have started the Golem, and we could have got the buffs and stuff, but because I don't want to, in my route, I don't use Spear on the first boss. I use Lust, Prideful, and the Orbs. That should be enough to kill it. So yeah, it just goes on a bit too long, this one. Maybe DPS should have used a cooldown or something. But not too big deal. We're by the start. So I can just activate Golem, get people back. I'm not sure why the Hunter decided to not release. We're right by the door. So we wasted some seconds here. But that's okay. Like, it's not that bad a timer. So, you can afford this sort of downtime a little bit. So into the boss. Easiest boss in the dungeon. Especially if everyone has orbs. We missed 2, I think. Hunter and the Shaman didn't pick them up, which is kind of sad. It's a bit of lost damage there. But that's okay. Yeah, much to say about this. Just have shield block up as much as you can on this boss. Kill the worms if they come on top of you, but just need to make sure they don't bite 5 times, and the ads are fine. Yeah, just keep doing it. We still got just running out of orb buff, I think, about now. So probably could have got a bit more damage out if the Hunter and the Shaman picked them up, but that's okay. Boss is dead at this point, pretty much. Like, we're not going to get many more mechanics out of him. We'll get one more breath, one more set of ads, but he'll be dead soon. Hit an execute phase, so nice and easy. So just spear and stun, make sure those ads get some AoE damage and they don't bite. So you don't want them to explode at this point of the boss fight, that would be bad. So yeah, first boss down, pretty easy, pretty nice. Okay, apart from the few deaths on Prideful, the key's going quite well. So as I said earlier, I missed 2 blight bags from the patrol, but there's these two blight bags here. So they just fill the count nice and easy. You just pull them on top. So I didn't charge there, so that's a slight mistake. Could have got some shield block and obviously a revenge proc and stuff for damage there. So yeah, I could have taunted and then charged into the pack and stuff, but oh well. I'll remember that for next time. So yeah, the harvesters don't really move as they love to stand and cast. So obviously trying to kite stuff away, trying to kite the soldiers close by so they're still in range of the paladin's AoE and the rogue's AoE and stuff. Just so we can cleave all of it down. So yeah, we go. Nice and easy pack. Just make sure the patchwork soldiers are always in front of you. And the DPS are focusing on the harvesters mainly, and easy pack. So Here, I like my route in Necrotic Wake, just because I use all golems, and we get prideful for every boss. Well, not the last boss, but the first 3 bosses anyway. So here I like to get the buff from the golem, and then we do quite a big pull, so I pulled these 2 into this, and then the blight bags as well. Now, if everyone has the buff and stands in, it should be really easy, but the hunter has the buff, and so does the shaman, and they decide to stand miles away. I don't know why. I say something after this pull. I say like, oh, by the way, that orb range is only 5 yards, so if you want to use it, stand in it. stand in melee, please. But you know, not too big deal. Pull goes well. Obviously, we kill the necromancer, and the other stuff just dies along with it, really, because we have 3 of us with the orb in melee. It's cleaved most of it down. Yeah, I'm typing out now. Like, I'm not gonna die to this. Like, it's okay. My grammar is awful. So, pick up the orb. So this in my route is where we skip. So, I can see the rogue wants to pull that, but I'm just like, nah, just skip. The exhaust bus wearing out, so the pulsing AoE is fine. It's not going to pull anything. So I know these 2 are going to spawn prides, and they shouldn't be too bad to kill, because at this level, if you well, anything from like 15 and above, if you kill the shields that they give, they instantly die anyway. On fortified weeks, definitely. I can't remember tyrannical. I think it's a bit higher for them to actually die from it. So we get both absorb shields here, but we only kill 1. So maybe I should say try and focus the shields down or something, because obviously we get pride here, and people are still trying to kill this marauder. So there's not much damage going into the pride. So slight mistake on my half. Probably should have said something. Maybe should have redone the route, because these guys, the shields are pretty big, especially on 20. But you know, we have true shot and stuff. I don't know why the hunter's not using it, but that's okay. We get Pally's wings and stuff. So yeah, I think this is where pugging starts to get a bit harder. Yeah, because obviously manifestations have more health, and I think they do more damage. So they just last a lot longer, and you should be using DPS cooldowns on them. We used wings here, but I'm pretty sure that's true shot from the hunter just doesn't use it. I don't know what he's saving it for. We could just use it and not wiped here. But I'm not going to put all the blame on him. Like, obviously, I didn't have to pull those 2. We could have pulled the 3 before the skip, the little patrol, and got prideful, then come through here and maybe knocked a pack off later on. So it's not all to blame. But we kill it. We get another 3 deaths, but that's okay. We just get a res. We're still on time. We still got a lot of time. It's not too bad. Buff up. So as I said, I like to use all the buffs I can. So I pull these, which should die pretty quickly because we've got prideful. But obviously it's a bit slow. Like, I'd like to have more prideful because I like to pull the big guy along with prideful and the Goliath buffs. But you know, it's all right as long as stuff dies. I can't complain too much. So yeah, just focus down the necromancer here. I've activated a little bit earlier, so once it dies, we get the buff. So the patrol's on a non-favorable path. He's miles away, but you can still pull him without pulling other stuff. So just pull him back a bit, just in case we get any body pulls. Again, Shaman has the buff, but is stood miles away. But I mean, it makes sense on this mob. There's a lot of running in and out, so. But if you all stack, and if you have prideful like I plan to have, you know, it dies really fast, this mob. So, and even on 20 fortified, he doesn't hit very hard after being nerfed quite drastically. So, you know, you can tank him pretty easily. And it's not like his wins pull too hard that you can't run out and stuff. So, just avoid the. Make sure you have something up like block for shatter, and make sure you move out of these blue swirlies. This mob is pretty easy. So here I usually pull these 3 and the 2 casters over there, but obviously it's a 20 and, you know, Soulwell and Necrotic Bolts and stuff go out, and I don't want to take all of that with Bone Flays and things, so just sort of slowed it down a bit. Move the big guy off the casters as he dies, so you don't get Sanguine on them. This guy slightly, so I don't get Sanguine on him. Nice and easy pull. Then we go to these 2. Pretty standard pull, to be honest. Get some double stack of Bone Play, that hurts. So I have Intervene off cooldown at the moment. As I said at the start, I didn't play very well. I didn't really track it that much. I was just trying to sort of survive, which sounds contradictory, saying I was trying to survive but didn't use Intervene that much or charge that much. I know, but it's just thinking ahead, thinking what I'm going to do, thinking of the next boss, because I don't like the next boss. Thinking what I'm trying to save, what's coming off. So my shield block took a bit of a lower priority in my mind than other stuff, just purely based on inexperience at key level and things. I think next time, if I do another 20, I'll do a bit better when it comes to using Intervene and charge and stuff, because I'll be a bit more comfortable, because I wasn't sure obviously how hard mobs were going to hit and things. Like, I probably wouldn't run Vintage and Blood Barrier. I'd probably run my usual File and Blood Barrier on a 20. I don't think I needed Vintage, to be honest. It was nice to have, obviously, for a first time. I could play a little bit worse and use a trinket and save myself than having to concentrate and play a bit better. So mob's about to die, so I just go and spawn the thing, because I realised there was no range close by going to do it. So I've activated the boss, so after the manifestation dies, we can go straight in. So I'm just waiting for the Prideful buff to go out before I intervene the melee. Just gives us some extra block up time, and you can do that in between, because melee stand quite close on Prideful, as long as you're not going to move with the like full ways, the light debuff thing that stuns people, or move into one. So usually, like in these times when it's down and it's not put on anyone, you can intervene someone and get some extra shield block, which is nice. Especially at 20 when mobs hit like that. So it didn't lose anyone to that Prideful, that was good. So we just go straight into boss. Straight into boss with Pride, Spear. I can't remember if we lost or not. Yeah, we do. Nice. Get Lust rolling. Make sure we interrupt. Move on. So obviously the Shackle Undead trap in cap thing still works on this boss. And I actually break a trap from the hunter later on, but I was already leaping. I think I was already moving to that mob before he trapped it. So if you do that, just make sure you're there to interrupt or stun and stop the casts. Or just wait a second. Don't just immediately do stuff like I do. Let the DPS do stuff, then start moving to targets. As long as Frost Volley doesn't go off, I mean, it's pretty safe. So yeah, just get an aggro. So you see that one is blinded and trapped, so we don't need to worry about that at all. What we do need to worry is some of this is going off, so that's quite bad. Get an interrupt there. Mine was off cooldown, I think. So my bad, as well as the 4 other people with interrupts. So we just killed that crossbow in time. Obviously that one's CC'd, so it doesn't actually explode or do anything to the group, which is really nice. So if you have a priest and you have a hunter, or you have 2 hunters or whatever, you can trap both mages and just forget about them. Really, really nice. Makes the boss a lot easier, but obviously they don't spawn very far away anymore. So boss is nearly dead, so just killing it here. Nice and easy. So we need to go and kill more trash before we go upstairs. You can see bottom left near my extra action button, I've got that 68.2%. That's a weak aura that just shows me how much percent I need before I go upstairs. So, Fat Fingered Fear on the charge again, so that was bad. And then turn the cleave onto the rogue, which is also bad by me. Just managed not to clip Sanguine then. So this pack is a bit hard. You've got Bone Mender, you've got a Harvester. No, you've got a Bone Carver, and you've got a Sorcerer, and you've got the big guy. So the big guy needs to die first, and he dies easily. As I said, you just kill the shield. And then, in my opinion, the Bone Mender needs to die next. Otherwise, he just keeps healing with Bone Mend. But if you just keep him interrupted, you can go for the Sorcerer and stuff. Final Bargain's pretty good. I can't remember what it does, but it does. I think it fully heals them, and they do more damage. But they start taking chunks of loads of health, and I think he casts it on other people and not himself. So, you know, risk reward, but just kill him. Don't let him heal. It's way easier. So yeah, spread them out as they died, just so things didn't heal. These guys are easy. You know, they're all normal mobs, so they don't even spawn Sanguine. Make sure you have block up. Just start to kite back a little bit. It's starting to hurt. Run out of shield block. Shaman's not got much mana, so we don't need to get him to burn mana. Just kite it out. We've got aggro, melee, and range can kill him. So obviously there's weapons in this dungeon, and this is where this is why I don't use spear on first boss, because my route can takes us past 3 spears, the 2 orbs, some hammers if you want to pick them up. Not many people do, but you can pick up 2 or 3 hammers, I think. So I always like to have spear on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th boss, and obviously 2 orbs here. So usually how I'd like to use an orb is, I'd like to pull the patrol into another pack. But this is a 20 fortified. Probably should have risked it, because it probably would have got us the extra minute. But I thought we're still in time at the moment. You know, it's going to be close, but we've got it if we don't screw up anymore. So, essentially, I tell the paladin. The paladin's got an orb. I'm just like, use it on a pack. I think it's the patrol. The patrol's a bad one for me. I don't like the patrol, so I just said use them on a patrol, and then I'm going to use my orb on the last pack before the boss, because obviously it's the end of the gauntlet, so your healer's low, and obviously you're spawning manifestation after that, and that pack hits quite hard with the poison gas, and we've got 2 melees, so they're going to be stood in the poison from the big guy all the time. So yeah, that's how I'd like to use orbs when it gets a bit higher, just because it helps you kill that last pack, so you save a bit of mana from the healer, and you might still have it up depending on how fast the pack takes on the manifestation itself. That's what I didn't tell him to use it on the patrol. I tell him to use it at some point in this half. So yeah, I've got 2 stacks of tenderize, so I'm just popping shield wall so I can tank a bit longer. Shouldn't really need to reset. People seem to get scared, but you know, you have block up, you're not gonna really die. Like, it's fine. Spread that out a bit. There we go, get Sanguine out of the way. So I've got 4 stacks. I don't really want to pull any more big guys, so just like pull these 3. There's a collector in here, which is bad, and 2 soldiers. Soldiers are easy. Just sorting out whose spear is next, so we'll spear the shaman spear. So just keep patchworks in front of you when they leap. Just, you know, look, back pedal, turn. Now he's in front. So Bloodlord's next boss, or the last boss, is the big question here. I still don't know what the right call was. Still not sure to this day. For like 4 or 5 days after doing this. Did this on a Wednesday. I'm recording this video on a Sunday. I prefer it on the last boss, honestly, because you're not going to have all your DPS up all the time. So I say that. But I don't mind either way. It's up to him. Like, where he thinks it's needed best. And so, you know... Just, okay, I can't spell we. Yeah, there we go. So Hannah's like, if we hit last boss, if we spear now. And I'm like, well, you know, we have 2 spears for the bosses, so we lose another person to pride here. Not too bad. It wastes a bit more time. Paladin's like, orb second pack. I'm like, yeah, sure. No, I didn't say anything, but you can orb either of these packs. It's fine. I don't know. So I orb this one. That's what I was saying was wrong. I just don't remember this key too well, but that's how I usually do Necrotic Wake. I'll usually orb the last pack if I don't do a massive pull. After coming upstairs, I'll always orb the last pack. I might ask the Paladin to do it. So not great spreading out by me there. We got the crafter in Sanguine for a little bit. Oh, there we go. Or blast pack before boss. I'm not particularly worried about these packs. A lot of people get scared by Tenderize and Mutilate, as I said, but you know, if you have shield block up, it's not going to kill you unless you're on like 4 stacks, and you can reset as well. So I'll just show. I'm pretty sure I reset this on this pack at some point later down the line. Two stacks of Tenderize, so use Trinket, use Shield Block, get an Intervene, which was bad because I charged through the mobs, but I got topped by something, I think probably the Paladin, the looks of it. So this pack's taking a bit longer. Maybe I should have asked for the orb here, but you know, if you leap across the entire room and you get the distance and keep running, you can reset your stacks. There you go, stack's done. We can tank for the rest of the pack now, easy. Make sure I'm facing Mutilate, but just facing everything, so everything back on top. Wonderful. So Gauntlet, not much to say here. Obviously you can soak the the throws that aren't going anywhere. Which happens a lot in lower keys and lower pugs I've found, like 14s, 15s, they tend to not aim or forget to aim or are a bit slower aiming, so you can always just soak the ones that aren't going towards, you know, the mobs. So you can just stand in it. It doesn't do much damage to you, it's obviously physical damage, so you have a ton of armor base, or base armor, I should say, and so you can just stand in it and it's not going to do anything to you. So a little mistake by the group there. The Paladin said he was going to bot the fixate, and they run away with fixate anyway. Rogues can tank this apparently. So, yeah. Just tanks fixate. But that was good, because he actually pulled it a little bit away, so and then stood it out. And then obviously I just stood it out, so when Sanguine came up, it's already out of it. Good job. I'll take that any day. So picking up the Verse Orb from I think it's the Paladin. I'm not really sure, or the Shaman. But if you see an orb on the ground and it's blue, pick it up. It's either your Mastery one or it's a Verse one from someone else. As I say, and ignore one on the other side, but that's okay. So yeah, Patchwork Soldiers again. I'm not sure they are Patchwork Soldiers, but they work the same way. Jump behind you just to melee you in the back. It's an annoying mechanic, but not too hard. You just move back a bit, see? Move back, turn your character, Everything's back in front. I'm not particularly trying to kite here, I'm just trying to block every attack. And some ways to do that is just to basically backpedal, so things aren't in. So a bit unlucky there, he decides to cast Gut Slice as they die, so you get a few ticks of Sanguine on him, so he heals a little bit. So again here my stack's pretty high, and he's coming in, but he does also have Gut Slice, so you can get away, and he casts Gut Slice, and then you drop stacks. So you don't have to go as far away as I did, but if you didn't cast Gut Slice, then obviously I would need to have gone that far and kept running to drop the stacks like before. So, last trash pack. Getting potions back, just because I might need them. I've told the paladin to orb this pack, as I said, just to make it faster and easier. Just purely out of last pack. Healer might be low on CDs and stuff. Our healer isn't. He's also got full mana, which is great. But it just makes it easier, makes your life easy. If you can kill it fast enough, obviously, as I said, you get a bit of the orb on the manifestation as well, which helps. Yeah. Not much to say about this guy. Obviously, with 2 melee, the circles of poison are going to be likely spawning in melee quite a lot, so you just need to be prepared and move around. If he's casting Spew Disease, you can already pre-move, and he'll follow you afterwards, which is just a little bit of a tip and good thing to know. But you can sometimes see, and something I should get used to is watching target of target, because obviously I've got that under my abilities in the middle of my screen. When he casts Spew Disease, he obviously targets someone, so I should be able to just see, but I keep forgetting to do that. So something else I need to work on. So pick up orb. Could have charged that manifestation. That's okay. So last manifestation, and then it's boss. So 4 minutes. It's going to be close. You kind of want to kill this boss as fast as possible. So Lust could have been the right call here. I still say we've got a spear. We've got all our cooldowns. We should probably have just speared and cooled down the boss. We might have got another phase, so we might have mistimed anyway. But we might not have, because we completely decimated this boss with Lust. It was really fast, so I think maybe it was still better to Lust, but, you know, there's not really a wrong answer lusting here or there. Fortunately, we lost Rogue again. Just have to sit and wait for res. So I've forgotten that had happened. So maybe Lust was the right idea here, just because we lost someone, so we've lost Pride time. But we'll see. So he's still asking. Maybe I should have said no, yes, whatever. But as I said, I didn't particularly mind too much about it. Like we can't let this boss go on for too long, otherwise we're definitely not going to time it, and we can't let the next boss go on for too long. Obviously, we won't time it. So it's Lust here or Lust the other one. I still think we probably could have done this without thingy. It's just moving the boss into hook. Boss is dead. Obviously, we've only got 2.5 minutes to kill this boss, which is kind of very, very tight. Yeah, it's doable, but we have no CD. If we had CDs, it's doable. But yeah, it's a very close time. Where you know, I'm thinking at this point, probably not gonna time it. Like, not got cooldowns, not got this. It's been a good run though. We just lost some people to pridefulls and things that slowed us down. Maybe I could have pulled some things bigger with orb and stuff in the Necropolis, save some time. Maybe we could have used Lust on this boss instead of the one before. Not anything too drastic has failed the time on this key. It's just small mistakes, basically. But anyway, this boss, very easy. move with Comet Storm, move out of circle if a melee gets the debuff thing. The thing that needs to be dispelled. I can't remember what it's called. Ice shards are blockable, so have shield block up as much as you can, which I decide to try and do. It's quite hard with 2 melees though on this boss. Like, obviously you can move out and charge back in, but usually the boss is surrounded by circles, and you don't want to charge back through the circles. So I got a nice one there, but at other points I just don't charge back because there's circles in the way, and I don't want to die because one of those circles will probably one-shot or pretty much kill me. And then I'll get one-shot by the boss's Icy Shard, even with block up, because I'll have no health. So yeah, we started with about 2 minutes, and we're about 50%. Well, 2 minutes 30, we're about 50%. We still got execute, so thinking in my mind, it's close, but probably not doable. Fortunately, we don't quite have the execute. And this is the problem with this boss, right? The DPS is just slow because you've constantly got one downstairs. Which is why I like Bloodloss on this boss, but I mean, as I've said a few times now, it doesn't really matter which boss you use it on. It's good on either boss here. I think on Tyrannical, though, you definitely want it on this boss than the third. But still. So just finishing off now, getting to execute phase. Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, as I said, small mistakes really. Losing people at Pride Falls, stuff like that really that failed us by just over a minute. A bit disheartening, but I mean, for a pug, I thought it was a really good key, honestly. You don't know what you're gonna get with pugs. You're not on comms or anything. And it went smoothly, apart from just losing the odd person here and there, which lost us the time. But I can't complain. 20 seemed okay for me. I didn't play the best, as I said. Obviously, a lot of things I can improve on. But yeah, it's about as far as I got. That was it. 1 minute, 1 second at a time. So, if you made it this far, thanks for watching.